This video explains how to test whether two grouping vectors have the same group structure in the R programming language. So without too much talk, let's dive into the R code. In this video I will show you an example, and for this example we first need to create some vector vectors, as you can see in lines 2 to 9 of the code. So after running these lines of code, we have created three different vector objects, which are called x1, x2 and x3. And as you can see in the bottom, in the RStudio console, our first vector, vector x1, contains the levels a and b. The second vector, vector x2, contains the levels c and d. And the third vector contains the levels a, c and d. So even though those three vectors contain different vector levels, the group structure of some of these vectors might be identical. And in order to test that, we first need to install and load the groupdata2 package, as you can see in lines 11 and 12 of the code. I have installed this package already, so for that reason I'm just going to load it by running line 12 of the code. And after running this line of code, we can use the all groups identical function, which is provided by the groupdata2 package. And within this function, we can specify two of our vector vectors. So in line 14 of the code, I want to compare the vectors x1 and x2. So after running this line of code, the logical indicator true is returned. And this tells us that the group structure of those two vectors is identical. We can also see that by comparing these two vector vectors once again. So as you can see, the first and third values of the first vector x1 are equal to a, and the same is true for the second vector x2 because the first and third values are equal to c. So the group structures of those two vectors are basically the same. If we do the same for the comparison of the first and the third vectors x1 and x3, the logical indicator false is returned, and this tells us that those two group structures are not equal. That's all I wanted to explain in this video. In case you want to learn more on this topic, you may check out my homepage statisticsglobe.com, because on my homepage I have recently published a tutorial in which I'm explaining the content of this video in some more detail. I will put a link to this tutorial into the description of the video so you can find it there. If you have liked this video or if you have any questions, let me know in the comments section below. I'll try to respond to all comments as soon as I can. Furthermore, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel to get notified about future video releases. I have already published about 500 videos on this channel, and I'm releasing new videos on a daily basis. Thanks a lot for watching. See you in the next video.